What up? It's your boy DJ Cass. Welcome to my city, Miami-Dade County. Waiting to Fort Myers to rock with Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide himself. Headed to sound check. Let's go. As soon as I walk into the arena, I start to look at different things, the people that work there, the posters, upcoming shows. At the Hertz Arena, they had the hockey team. So I'm already kind of thinking in my head, what's the crowd gonna be like? I know I'm in Central Florida. I know that it's a Monday. There's different things going on through my head. And when I look around, I think of kind of pinpoints to center to direct myself to, as I DJ for the whole crowd. There was a time when I, pointed at somebody, and that person that I was pointing at, I had been looking at that area earlier. So there was a time when I was like, I want everybody in the building to sing this with me. You in the red hat over there.
But I need everybody, you up top. Everybody, you right there with your hands up, yes. I need you to sing this with me.
There could have not been a person with a red hat, but I made it a point for me to look at earlier. So I like to just look at the empty room. I do this in clubs too. If I'm there early, I like to just kind of see where I can gravitate to and what areas would be, center of attention at some point. Big factors for me to use the equipment that I did is because the SRT 1000 has been my go-to controller for a few months. And I decided to have the SRT 1000 over my regular turntables and S9 setup because it's, way less of a hassle in transporting and in asking for stuff. So I've become a big fan of the SRT 1000 because it is a very reliable controller. It has pretty much everything that you need to rock a party. And it's a one-man show. I don't have to worry about plugging in a hub into the computer with an attachment that's dangling and all these things. Like I'm rocking for 10,000 people. The last thing I need is anything to go wrong, and if I can avoid and cut any corners to deal with that, I'm gonna do it. I want things to go as smooth as possible, and the setup hasn't failed me yet. So we finished sound check. We're in the green room. We're about to get some food, and I see this guy with a suit who looked important, and for my times of being in the club, I already know that this guy is important. Everybody else is kind of running around in more normal clothes. And I introduce myself. I tell him, hey, how you doing? I'm DJ Cass, based out of Miami. I'm the opener for the show. And he's like, oh, I'm Max Weinbrenner. Let me, introduce myself. He's an event manager for the arena. And I ask him, you know what, I have a question. This goes back to what I said, that when I walk into the arena, I look at the different ads, I look at this, I look at that. We were in Estero, Florida. The concert was promoted as Fort Myers, but I knew right away that this was not Fort Myers. So I asked him, and I was like, hey, so I don't want to say Fort Myers and I get booed.
So you just name it Southwest Florida? Because you probably got people from Naples, you got people from Estero, Fort Myers, Marco Island. So Southwest
I'll put on the other shout out like, oh, the Naples in the building.
That'd be perfect.
What are the areas that I should be shouting out, or who am I dealing with here, And he's like, well, it's great that you ask. And he started naming all the different towns, all the different regions. He said, make sure you say Cape Coral, shout out this, shout out that. And he gave me like a rundown, and this goes back from playing clubs, from the club era and DJing a lot of venues. I always, if I'm flying out of town, sometimes I even get there a day early if I can. So I can go out and absorb the crowd, absorb the environment, see what's going on, see what's working, see what's hitting. So by asking this, he's giving me the tips and tricks to know the audience. So that's it.
Fort Myers?
But I am going to shout out Marco Island, Naples, Lehigh Acres. Is it Estero, right? Like Estero?
Yeah.
So when I play a big venue like this and the doors are opening, people are coming in, it's just like the club. It's just like playing in a club environment where, some people are coming in, super hyped and super rushed, and they were pre-gaming in the parking lot. At a lot of these concerts, people are tailgating, so they're already a little warm. Some people are literally walking in with nothing, some people are chilling. You have to read the room, just like DJing any other room. But again, you're 10 times the size of that environment. And it can be kind of awkward when you're DJing and you have you know, the first 3 rows just staring at you, and you know, they're not moving, they're not doing anything, they're just staring at you because it's something so unfamiliar to them to have a DJ. You know, again, your DJ, it's not a club where people are going to party, it's a concert. So there's people in there that are regular Monday through Friday, hardworking people that are just enjoying the show. So you can't let those things get to you, you know, like, and at the same time, you have to open the club, you have to open the venue. You know, my energy level changed from the first 10 minutes to the last 30 minutes. You know, it was complete 180 where I'm chilling opening, and then in the last hour, I'm making them take their phones out, and you know, we're gonna do a light show or something like that where I'm engaging. But like everything else, you gotta warm it up and get to that level. So in moments like this, when the whole crowd is engaging, where everybody's kind of tapped in, I feel like I got them. I feel like I have control over it, and you have to be careful because at the same time, you don't want to just end it right away. You don't want to make a wrong turn. You don't want to play something that might not hit just as hard. But you know, this is when programming becomes the biggest factor of the night, I believe, because at that moment, I think I hit them with like 3 or 4 back-to-back songs that were all sing-alongs, all very known songs. And you have to have that energy. You have to kind of sell them. I know that sometimes I'm very passive, but if I'm playing these songs, when I'm on the mic, I'm telling them, yo, South Florida, you know, let me play my favorite song.
Can I play my favorite song of all time for you guys?
And that's always my trick that I do and I say. That way they know that it means something to me and they're gonna try a little bit harder to engage. And
I want to say thank you to DJ KA5, Disco Drew, and Phenom. It's all representing for the organization DJs.
So when Pitbull's done with the concert, he thanks his band, he thanks the performers, he thanks the crowd, any special guests, any VIPs, and he also thanks the DJs. The first time it happened, actually, I didn't catch it because I had to go to a gig, and I didn't even know the first time, and like my friends didn't even tell me that we're there, and I was like, yo, how come you guys didn't even tell me? And then I found out, and I feel proud that I've been able to get the respect to be mentioned by, one of the biggest artists in the world, and to be thanked in an arena where people saw my talents and saw me do what I do, and then for it to kind of come full circle and for him to be like, yo, by the way, thank you DJ Cass, thank you the globalization team and everybody else, that like it's it pays off. It really pays off, and I think that to me is always the most surreal moment of the show. At this moment, once I'm done performing, DJing in front of everybody, and I wrap up and get down, my first feeling is always being grateful. I'm grateful to be in the position where I'm at, because I think that's when it really hits me. Because while I'm DJing, I always say that it feels kind of surreal, even at some clubs, even if I'm DJing for 10,000 people, it feels surreal because you're not really present, or it's so much that you can't process it fast enough. I'm happy that I got to be put in that position. I'm happy that I was able to, show the crowd what I can do, and I'm pretty much just thankful. I do feel, like the endorphin hits that I got throughout the performance are kind of settling in, and I'm just cool. I'm just vibing at that moment. I'm just like, all right, great. I had a great time. That piece, that hour is something that not many things can compare to, and I'm glad that it happened, and I'm grateful for it.